Welcome, everybody, to the Muffed Sports Show, the Muffed Sports Podcast. I am your host, Hayden Haynes. Today is the very first episode of the channel, of the show, and it's a big day. This has been something that we're still working on, but we've been working on for a while now. Actually, I want to say technically 2 years.
It's been a
And
minute.
it's been a
It's been a
minute,
while.
but we are back and we are starting finally. So that's all you can do. You can just press play and go, right? So that's kind of some advice I was given, and we're gonna go full in, and I think you guys are gonna have a good time with us. And I'm just gonna kind of start by introducing myself. I am Hayden Haynes, and I did have a little experience in college doing a show for Tide 100.9 where I was with other interns, and we essentially once a week did a sports show where I sometimes hosted, also was just a co-host and even produced the show. And it was basically just about anything that we kind of wanted to write up for the week that was interesting or what was currently happening in the sports world. So that's kind of how I got interested in all this. I've always been a big sports fan, but really that was what ignited the fire even more. So I essentially took that, learned from that. And then the last few years I've been doing a bunch of stuff with life and kind of somehow full circle got back to this. And here we are. So I graduated from University of Alabama in 2021. Degree was in communications, nothing really in sports, but I've always known that that's kind of something I want to do. So this is what we're doing. But really, now
We're here.
this is uh this is the beginning of a new era. And I also just had some experience writing articles. So you guys might see some of that in the future. We might be working on that slowly but surely. These shows will probably start out as just podcasts that we're going to upload to Spotify, all platforms, Apple Music, and other things. It really just kind of depends on what you guys listen on, and we will have the platform. Trust me. Then we'll definitely get a YouTube video out, and then especially social media maybe sooner than later, honestly, with a bunch of content just of these clips from the show. And that's kind of how I feel like a lot of people are going to start finding out about us. But that's the general
Oh yeah.
idea. And I'll give a little bit more about myself. We now live in, I say we literally all live in Orlando now, but we're like
Yes,
30
sir.
minutes from each other. But we did grow up in Alabama. Me and one other guy down here named Seth grew up actually across from each other in Hoover, Alabama. We went to Hoover High School. That's where we kind of met and grew up. And then Cody up here, also from Alabama. We've known each other for a long time now. Him and Seth were very close growing up. And then I got the pleasure to meeting this guy that we call the Menace. So
Yep.
Cody, I just want to go ahead and kind of dive in and give a quick little rundown on your story, man. How's life been?
Hey, I'm Cody. Grew up in Bama with these guys, these ugly dudes, I grew up in Birmingham, played sports, baseball, football, basketball, did MMA, always around sports growing up, my big passion was really, I've always loved football, but baseball I played all throughout school. About had a scholarship to play at Alabama, but unfortunately had a shoulder accident. So, God set me on a different path, and it, like Hayden said, comes full circle now. I mean, I've always been interested in doing podcasts, and now we're starting up one with two of my best friends. I consider brothers. I'm very excited to see where this goes into the future and just take the bull by the horns. Let's go.
Yep. These are my brothers. I'm not actually I'm actually the oldest of three. I have two little sisters. I've never had
Mhm.
brothers. So these are my brothers. And I'm sure I'll have some other brothers that
Yes,
will pull
sir.
up on the show eventually and it will be a great time. But
Indeed.
then really just the guy down here that you'll see is Seth. And Seth, you can introduce yourself whenever you start.
Oh, what's up, guys? My name is Seth Killin. As Dave said, grew up with both of these ugly dudes here, and I've been around sports pretty much my whole life. I ran track back in Hoover High School, growing up playing basketball in a Catholic school. But yeah, I ran track at Hoover High School with Marlon Humphrey as a freshman. He was a senior.
Yep,
Ran on his
nice.
4x1 team. It was
Nice little
pretty cool.
plug right there.
Well,
Raced his brother in hurdles too. Pretty cool.
Put that
But
on the
yeah,
resume.
put that on my resume. Tap it
right
in there.
now.
Also played a little bit of football here.
I did play
Uh-oh.
football,
Just
and
a little bit.
I would never play it
Coach told
again.
him, coach told him to get off the line, and he ran off the
I
field.
ran off the field.
He ran off
Perks
the. He
perks of
did.
going to school at a Catholic school where we did not grow up with football. We just played
Yeah,
basketball.
This guy though was a 4.3 or 4.4 track star, and
I was a
honestly, they
dipper.
called him White Lightning in
They
spring
did.
practice in football. So I
They did.
will say that was something I could never put on my resume. So
They did.
anything else,
Played.
Seth?
As you can see, I'm repping my team right here. My dad was born in Pennsylvania, and ever since I was born, I've been a Steelers fan. And as you can see right there, these two guys right here, Alabama fans. Not
Mm-mm,
me.
mm-mm,
War
mm-mm.
Eagle. hmm
I'm
Um,
loving the tie.
make
Yep.
love in the
We need
tide.
to maybe go around and say our favorite sports teams here, so everybody knows
Yeah,
what's good.
For sure.
yeah. Sorry, I'm currently trying to upgrade Zoom. Can you guys still see me?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
for sure.
Okay, well, yeah, you guys start talking about some of your teams and stuff. I'm literally gonna have to buy annual Zoom thing right now so our meeting doesn't end.
Wow. All right.
Not kidding.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Like I said, I'm a Steelers fan, Auburn fan when it comes to college football, Steelers and NFL. I am a Warriors fan. I know, bandwagon. I middle school team when I was playing basketball, we were the Warriors. So once I first started watching basketball, I saw that they had an NBA team named the Warriors, and I said that's the team I'm running with, and so here
that's
we
good.
are. I don't watch too much baseball, but I did have a Yankees hat growing up. I know that's kind of ugly to most people, maybe, but
Uh,
that's if I had to pick a team, that'd probably be it, I guess. But maybe the Braves. I don't know, just because I've
yeah,
been to Atlanta a
I'm
lot.
a big Braves guy,
Because
big Atlanta guy here.
yep,
Sorry, guys, I'm literally multitasking so hard right now.
you're good, brother. Cody,
Um,
let's hear your favorite teams over there, man. Let's see what you're rocking with.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. Me and Hayden probably the biggest Bama Smiths besides Roll Tide Willie there is. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. We
we
give Roll Tide Willie a
absolutely
run
love
for his
Bama.
money.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
I mean,
But
look, this guy over here, Cody Hart, it might as well be Roll Tide Willie's nephew.
hey, call me. I mean, that's me.
I
You
mean,
know.
might as
he
well.
is. Sorry, I'm
Uh,
texting my wife Logan. Can you grab my
And look at this
but
guy,
I'm
man.
cool
This
guy
guy's
here?
got a wife.
Yeah,
yeah.
just got
Believe it?
married, and these boys were in the wedding, so that shows you how close we are. Even
It was an
more.
honor.
I need to be talking
Honor
to my mic. I know it's not good. Thank you. So yeah, let's see. I don't know if you guys heard me, but I did say I'm a big Atlanta fan. Grew up in Georgia. My dad is from Atlanta, and essentially I've always been, maybe it's not a great thing, but I've been a diehard Atlanta pro sports fan. Not a Georgia Bulldog, will never be that. Making that very clear. But love the Braves, love the Falcons, and love the Hawks. And it's really tough out here, I will say. So as I plug in my information and buy this upgrade, let's kind of talk a little bit about the overall view of the show. Essentially, we're going to be talking about pretty much most everything under the sun as far as sports go. It's probably going to be mainly at first a lot of football, and I know it's kind of like what sells around here. And essentially, college football is, I would say, more me and Cody's strong suit, and
For
Seth
sure. 100%.
loves NFL and NBA.
I do.
So, but I would say I feel pretty good about NFL, NBA, college football, all that kind of stuff, college basketball a lot, and Cody could say the same. Seth definitely knows college football, but it's been a while because he's kind of checked out ever since Auburn has been irrelevant. Sorry,
Yeah,
man.
I definitely have.
Um, so yeah, I mean, really, you guys are gonna see a lot of the same stuff that you're interested in. I mean, occasionally we might touch on some other sports. I know Cody's touched on MMA already.
for
Um,
sure. I'll talk about some segments for sure.
right, he can be our MMA guy if there's ever something we need him to touch on. And
Yeah, big
then
event or something.
yeah, and then me and Seth might now start be talking about some golf. But
Oh yeah,
Yeah, y'all
that's
definitely be the golf guys.
yeah.
big in the
So
golf scenes now,
let's just
even though
say
we're buns.
I've been a golf guy for a lot of my life, but as I've gotten older and I moved to Florida, I'm invested now, to say the least. And so we might get into that, but really that's about it. I don't think we're ever gonna talk about NHL. Sorry guys up north. Don't really think that's gonna be on our agenda. But
Yeah,
that's it really. So today's show though, just to give you guys a better understanding of what we're about to talk about. And I know we're yapping, guys. Sorry about that. I
We are
literally just
in
had to
little
sit there.
technical difficulties there for a
Yep. Now,
second.
but hey, just got a great
We're
news here. The meeting
great
is now
news.
unlimited minutes. So
Unlimited minutes here.
don't even know how much money I
Unlimited
just spent.
minutes.
Um,
But we got unlimited.
I can't even see myself right now. Let me get back to this. I had to go pay, and I don't even know what happened. All right, Zoom. Where are we at? Here we are. Can we see me? We're good.
We
Okay.
can.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. So, should have did that before. Not professional of me. Anyways, today we're gonna talk about college sports and NIL kind of going crazy and the rapid, really just change of everything, and essentially like where we see it going, what we know. We're not gonna touch on it too much because it's a whole thing. It's a lot. Like it's a
It
lot,
is a
guys.
lot.
Like I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah, for
it's a
sure.
whole thing. But we'll kind of just touch on it a little bit. A little more on college football in the same vein. We're gonna talk about EA, NCAA 25, and just kind of what we think is gonna come out of that. Like some of the news that dropped today was pretty crazy. Don't know what this white thing is on my screen. Anyways, and so we're going to talk about that for a little bit, what to expect, what we're kind of mad about, honestly, too, but also what we're still hyped for as far as the game goes. And then we're going to transition into a little bit more of college football real quick, early preseason top 10, and like our version of top 10, I would say, not really what
For
the
sure.
mainstream media. And then a little bit of a way too early playoff picture that me and Cody have been working on for a long time, the last few
For
weeks,
a couple
in
months,
the
for
wee
sure.
hours of the morning.
Oh,
Then the big chunk of the show is going to be NFL offseason, really what's happening recently, kind of what to expect this year. And from there, we're going to have a game. It's a little fun game we're going to do. They don't know, these guys don't know what's coming, but it'll be fun.
Yep.
And finally, just quick little touch topic on fantasy football because you guys are going to find out we are very passionate about that.
And I'm Ash. You'll quickly realize that I am
and I'm the
Buns.
GOAT. Just letting you know. You're going to want all your hot scoops from the
Okay,
codes.
we're gonna definitely dive into all the craziness of the past, but we'll just say this and I'll own up to it. Last year we had a couple of leagues. We really tried to focus in on like two or three, and me and Cody met in two championships, and I lost both.
They call me
And
the two-time
Cue the wah
Tonka.
wah wah Jack or whatever. So that's tough. I'm not gonna lie. We call this guy
we do
two-time
time
Tonka.
two-time
Um,
Tonka there.
I'm
You
not
need to
gonna
get a
lie.
shirt
I got one ship. It was the year before. Seth got his in
against me.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did beat Cody that one year. That's right. So I'm 1-2 in the ship against Cody. Anyways, this year we're starting a dynasty, so we'll get into that. Blah blah. And then finally, we're touching on the NBA Finals. It's pretty much set in stone. We already know who's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe.
unless,
Maybe.
so
Not
all
from
right.
what my bet says here.
My team's already in there.
Um, so basically, we're gonna say the first thing obviously is the NIL, and recently this is. I mean, we're not going to be able to dive into all this because it's so crazy, but if you do, guys, if you want to click on the link I posted in there, it
Yep.
gives you more to read about. But essentially, now NCAA is allowing colleges and universities to straight up pay players. That's all you need to know. Like I won't give you the crazy rundown on it. Um, but basically, it was used to be in the past few years they started the NIL and the collectives that would sponsor players so they could get their form of payment. And now you're basically going to have, I think it's like 20 million a year in the article. I'm not sure. I got to pull it up, but like
Yeah, it's
it's
20
going to
million a
be,
year.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to
which
be
is
like,
insane.
it's going to be like NFL light, which we all kind of thought was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this was on Pat McAfee's show earlier. He was talking um, with Pete Thamel, who's like the college sports guy of the show that comes on a lot. So, um, not like Pat McAfee needs my. I don't need to plug Pat. He's the biggest guy in the world. But I'm just telling you guys
Facts.
that's where I'm getting this info from. So I'm not ripping it off of somebody. But literally, yeah, it's from what I've basically gathered. It seems like it's gonna be Cody and Seth. I mean, I don't know how much you know, but basically, the big schools are gonna feast. They're gonna keep
Yeah,
feasting.
Yeah,
no, and
I
it's
was just
kind of
about to say.
fucked, man.
Yeah,
It
it's
I feel
definitely
like it
tough.
takes away from really grinding and really trying to get there to that NFL level because I mean you're already getting paid close to like
Yeah.
just riding the bench in the
Right.
NFL.
So a lot of guys, are worried about what's going to happen to the small schools,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
I
schools
mean,
that
because
don't
what's
have the
going to happen
resources.
is like all your top schools, Georgia, Bama, Texas, Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon. I mean, all the big brand name schools that are always in the playoffs or always in
The big bowl
the
games.
bowl games, the top
Yeah.
bowl games, they're all going to just start feasting while the lower level schools,
I think,
like
yeah,
your MAC conferences, Conference USAs, all those, they're going to suffer from this,
yeah.
and it
They
could
are.
divide
Mm-hmm.
conferences.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, essentially it's just like that. I think basically you're gonna have like so many of those small schools are gonna realize literally we're not gonna have any money coming in because we're not gonna be on TV. We're not gonna have people just supporting us like they used to, and slowly but surely. I don't know if this is really gonna happen, guys, but I mean, it just feels like it could. Like some of these schools might just evaporate. I'm
I
not
mean,
kidding.
my
Birmingham Southern,
sister just
yeah, you
graduated
can
from
talk on
Birmingham
that.
Southern, and
Yeah,
they have no bread.
They have
They
no
literally have
money.
zero bread. They had to ask people around them and sponsors and stuff for bread just to have the last graduation.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah. That's a
it's
real
already
thing.
starting. These schools are starting to fall apart
They're
here.
feeling it. But so the NCAA will pay more than 2.7 billion in damages over the last 10 years to current athletes. And yeah, so now they're going to roughly have about 20 million per year to pay these athletes. Now I'm guessing that's for all the sports for each school. I don't
And
really know how it's
it
going to
says
work.
there, it says past 2.7 billion in damages over 10 years to past and current athletes. So does that mean people that had already been in
Like people that have
are
missed
also going to
out.
be getting bread?
Yeah, probably people that have missed out the last few years or something. Um, yeah, so the five autonomy conferences and the NCAA agreed to settle the terms in an important step in the continuing to reform college sports that will provide benefits to student athletes and provide clarity in college athletics across all divisions for years to come. That was by the NCAA president, Charlie Baker.
I
Um,
think that is just crazy,
I
man.
mean, look, all this stuff is changing so fast. All Division I athletes dating back to 2016 are eligible to receive a share as part of the settlement class. In exchange, athletes cannot sue the NCAA for other potential antitrust violations and must drop their complaints in three open cases: House versus NCAA, Huber versus NCAA, and Carter versus NCAA. So it's really going to be a crazy legal thing going on at all times. And this is it. So the last thing is really just NCAA's board of governors and leaders from the ACC, Big Ten, Big 12, SEC, and Pac-12 voted to accept the general terms laid out in the 13-page document. And then Notre Dame also agreed to the settlement as a member of the ACC.
Dude, that's
So
just
yeah, um, that's really that. I just kind of wanted to touch on that because I know it's a big deal and it's crazy. And I do know that a segue into the next topic, in the new NCAA game by EA that's coming out, they are going to incorporate NIL, but it's going to be a smooth, I think, like transition as far as like the gaming world will have on and like NIL. So I think from what I've seen, like today they were talking about how when you recruit on Dynasty, um, you're gonna have like that window after the season of transfer. Like the transfer portal is gonna be in there, NIL is gonna be in there, all the stuff that's in college football is gonna be in there, but it's gonna be like a smoother like layout. It's not gonna be so confusing for like an average casual that just
right.
plays the game because they just like playing the game. So I think that would be cool. But I did kind of just want to segue into the topic on the NCAA EA game. Now this drop, the link that I posted in the notes is literally um, all about from Matt Brown, all about him playing the game and what he thinks. And
Hmm.
it's not a Madden reskin, he says. So
which is fantastic.
love to hear that.
Yes.
Oh yes, we would not want to hear anything else because if
Yeah,
it's anything like the Madden and if they take away from the NCAA aspect of what was the last one, 14,
14.
13,
14, yeah.
14, then I feel like you're just chalking it all up.
Yeah.
You might as well just chalk the game up at that point if you're just trying to rip stuff off of the Madden that people already kind of don't really fuck with,
hmm
and then they just throw that into the NCAA scene. It's just a recipe for disaster there.
For sure.
Yeah. So really the guy, you all can kind of read the article a little bit as we go here, and y'all can start talking about whatever you feel like. But basically, some stuff that I thought was interesting, um, is going to be really, really, really detailed. And I know earlier we were talking amongst ourselves about there's some stuff that we wish would be in the game. Like we really wish, Cody, that in Road to Glory they're gonna have the high school mode because what's the
Oh,
point?
I
You're
was
Yeah.
going to talk
starting
about
in
that.
college.
Like,
So
I don't get
that's
it.
obviously a bummer. You can go into that a little bit more, Cody, about your experience in that and how mad you
Oh,
are about it.
that's the one thing. When I officially heard the game coming out, I was like, "Oh, that's going to be so sick." They got to have like the high school, like you create your own high school. Obviously, it's not going to be as big. Like I think the last time you could write your team name down, or you create your player, and then
Yeah,
you put in your high school name, where the city you're from, then pick what colors they had on there, and then you're going into the high
yeah.
school playoffs to create the buzz around you. And like that was
That was
such a
the
big
best
aspect.
part.
Exactly. That's what everybody I've been seeing, especially on social media,
Yeah,
and people have been saying that was like my favorite part of the game was going through the high school playoff to see where I would like if I was going to be a 3-star or 5-star or 4-star, and seeing what teams if I was going to be a first string quarterback or a fifth string quarterback somewhere,
yeah,
what odds would I have going to these schools and how long it would take me to get the starting job, which whatever position you chose.
yeah.
So
Yeah. And Seth, I know you were disappointed they're not gonna have mascot mashup, which a lot of
Yes,
people are.
bro. That was one of my
yeah,
favorite. Just because I mean it's so even and it was
Hmm.
so funny and fun to play.
Like doing the
Just
side
trucking
flips.
someone, yes,
Yeah,
bro. Trucking someone
yeah.
with the Syracuse orange or the Christmas tree,
dude.
dude. Like it's
Yeah,
something
the
that you could
Stanford
Stanford
be
three.
doing.
Cardinal. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, that was
that
the best,
that was
man.
awful, man. When they
I feel
said
like
that, I was like, I don't even
is
want
there
to
a
get it, but
chance
I'm still
though
going
they
to.
like added in midway? Like you know what I'm saying? Like a little
I mean,
Like a
they could add
little,
it on, but I don't think they
DLC
would.
or
I think it'll
something.
be on a. I think it'll be on a later game, later
yeah,
than them just
Maybe
because this game is coming out in what in a month,
couple
close to
yeah,
months. Yeah, about a month.
month and a half or so.
Right.
They're not gonna add it in, or it's not gonna be a DLC type of thing. It'll be on one of the next games they make
yeah.
in a few years, hopefully.
I could
Yeah.
agree with Cody there. I think
Yeah.
that they're just gonna try and leave some things out so people are still thirsty for more, so for a more
Exactly.
marketing thing. And can we talk about how this game is only PS5 and
Oh,
Xbox Series S?
Yeah. Where's the
so
PC?
me and Cody got PS5. Seth does not. He has a
I
PC.
don't. I have PC. Yep,
It's kind of sad because we've
it
been playing a
is.
lot of Madden this past few months, and we're getting
Exactly.
frustrated with Madden. But like,
Can't stand it.
we wanted to
Yep.
play NCAA, and now we're gonna not be able to play with Seth or P or all the other boys. But yeah, me and Cody are gonna still cook, I guess. But
Yep.
I was
No,
gonna
I think it's a.
say
I also think it's a great marketing strategy
to make
for
yeah,
Sony and Microsoft both, even though it's fucked up in our eyes, but for them to make that kind of money,
yeah,
because everybody, all the comments I saw when they were talking about the Pro edition or the deluxe edition being like 130, $150, everything that I saw in there was people talking about how they would pay $5,000 for
yeah,
this game if it came down to it. So I think that's a great marketing strategy for their in their eyes to make everybody have to get the new console, which is
yeah.
Yeah.
fucked for people that don't. But
Yeah, so that's really like the biggest thing to me is like the fact that you can't have the high school experience on Road to Glory. I'm getting the negatives out, but then we're about to dive into the
yeah,
good stuff. And then the
Yeah.
mascot mashup and other thing people are mad about is like the ESPN scoreboard's not going to be in there, or like they're not going to have ESPN game day or something.
That's
But
not the. I'm
not the
not really
worst
worried about
thing.
that.
No, I mean, I think they're going to do enough because they're still apparently going to have multiple different broadcasts depending on the severity like of the game. If it's like Alabama,
Right.
Georgia, it's going to be Reese and Kirk
Reese and Kirk.
or Chris and Kirk. I'm sorry, Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then if it's a smaller game, I think it's going to be like David Pollock and I got to remember who else is on it, but I don't think Gus Johnson's in the game. A lot of people are mad about that. Um,
Yeah.
and then the other thing, I'm trying to think if there's anything that was negative. I don't know. I think that's pretty much the main gripes or whatever, but for the most part, it's going to be great. Everything we're hearing of today, like today's been a big day as far as like the
Hmm.
leaks of people have been able to share what they've kind of
yeah,
experienced playing. And so one guy was saying He played it in Orlando. You can't get into huge specifics, and this is Bengal YouTube, by the way. I shouldn't say this one guy because Bengal is a very popular guy. A lot of people
Yeah,
know who he is. You can't get into huge specifics, but from what he saw and played, it's going to be the best football game we've ever probably played. And the gameplay is actually super fun, and I heard it was really fast too, for the first time in a long time.
I've
And
heard the same
then the
thing.
soundtrack's going to be gas. One thing I heard is that literally to, they went to like most colleges and they took so many pictures, like thousands of pictures per
Hmm.
stadium to render the images. And the ones they couldn't get to, they had sent over. So people had like 80 other schools that would like send them 1,000 pictures at a time. And so they're really going into detail. Then they're making sure when you run out the tunnel, like every time you're out of the tunnel, it's going to be specific to the team, like the way it is in real life. Like when you're running out, I hate Tennessee, but it's an example they use that it's going to be the big T in like their
The big T
band
in the
is going to be
middle.
in the
Yeah.
T.
That would be
So they're
sick.
going to be running through the band, and it's going to be a T. Everybody's going to have like Clemson coming down the hill, and they touch the rock, and they kind of
Yep.
have to jump over that one part, and whatever they hire people, stunt people to do that, so it made it look even more real.
They got the
And
Seminole for the Florida State Seminoles
yeah, yeah. All the things that you're accustomed to see, like in Iowa, there's one thing they do where they wave in the stadium. All
at
the
the
fans
Children's Hospital.
wave at the children's hospital that's like right connected to the stadium, and they're gonna have that in
That's
there.
awesome. I love when they do that.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
people
that
are
is
like
super dope.
really hype about the details of the game, and so I think that's the stuff they were trying to focus on, make it so real that you didn't worry too much about the other stuff that's missing. And I do know that Dynasty is going to be crazy because
Hmm.
your coach is going to have so many different aspects that you can kind of control, and skill trees and other stuff that we've never had in the past, and like every decision matters. And one other thing was, so you can't create new conferences from scratch, but they can build like the Pac-12 back to life because the Pac-12 in real life is basically not here anymore.
Yeah.
And you can
Especially
choose,
with the NIL shit
yeah,
coming into play.
yeah, and there's a new addition. You can have week zero games now because sometimes there's like a game before the games that start the
Yeah.
season. And there's just a bunch of stuff coming out. As a dynasty coach, you give yourself a backstory as a motivator, recruiter, a tactician, utilizing 11 skill trees for coaching abilities. You can grow the skills, but
I
you
like that.
can't be great at everything. You also manage your coordinators and have the opportunity to fire them after the season and poach new ones from other schools. It's just going to be
I
crazy.
like that.
It's
I
gonna
like the
be
skill tree,
insane.
Yeah.
the skill tree stuff they put into the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Makes you
do
feel
too.
like you're playing like some MMORPG type game, which is
Right.
what I
Yeah.
love.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be hype. I don't think there's going to be too much really that we're going to be mad about once we start playing the game because it's been a
No,
decade.
yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm just ready to play college football. I'm just ready to play literally anything that's college football.
I'm
I'm
just
ready
ready
to.
to see it load up onto my screen, and I might shed a tear.
Oh, I'm gonna
Pour
shed a
one,
couple
pour
tears.
one out for the homies.
Okay,
And
before we segue off here,
yeah,
what's the first play y'all are running?
oh yeah, we go. Cody, what are you running?
What's the first play y'all running?
First
I
play I'm running, I'm taking a delay a game for all the
oh,
homies that have perished, and then for the rest of the homies,
oh,
I'm doing a 5 wide formation, and I'm slinging it as far as I can.
all right.
Oh, I
I
Um,
got
like
to
that.
Jalen Milrow to Jeremy Bernard off the rip.
the first play.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, do the same thing. Like me and Cody were talking about that. I might take. I saw something. It was like, imagine taking a delay a game and then the CPU declines the penalty out of respect.
He's
It's
like,
like we're on the same page here,
We're all on
brother.
the same page.
This is the last 10 years were hard on us all. Even the CPU had to
Even the
feel it.
CPU's been waiting.
Been waiting 10 years. Nah, but
They've
for
man,
been
real.
waiting
wait,
to put me back in.
I missed you. How
But
old are you now?
you were like 13 when I last saw you.
You got a whole beard now, man.
You married? What happened?
You're married.
Last time I saw you had braces still.
Oh my god! Last time
Oh
I saw
shit.
you, your ringtone was "No Flex Zone" by Ray Shrimmer. Oh my god! Yeah, so that's been a long time coming, and I think we're all hyped about that.
Yeah,
A hundred
yeah.
Um,
percent.
Oh,
100%.
Gosh, I can't wait, and that's really coming around the corner. I got to pre-order that actually, so I get the bundle deal and all
Yeah.
the things.
All the extra stuff.
the
Yeah,
thing
so
is, are we getting with the Madden, or are you just getting the deluxe
I'm
edition?
doing the MVP bundle because I'm gonna play both games and I
Yeah.
need it
Yeah,
because you get all the
I mean, I
perks.
agree.
You get to play both games 3 days in advance. You get all the MUT coins and then you get the little packages for the uniforms and
Oh, I heard one thing.
stuff.
You can't import that draft
Yeah,
class. I saw,
you
and
can't
I've heard
import
people are mad
you
about
can
that.
import the college draft class to your Madden, but it's because of legal stuff. They can't. They literally nothing
I
Yeah.
they can
believe it.
do about it. They
I
can't
saw
do
that it
anything
was
about it.
like I saw. I heard this one guy. He was like, "It's really you don't want to get into all that stuff. Just let it be. We got the game coming. Just be happy
Somebody's gonna once the Madden comes out, somebody's gonna cook like they always do a
Yeah.
roster,
and
Oh, they're
make a
definitely
whole
gonna
a
get
draft
roster."
somebody.
Yeah,
class, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be
but
fine.
yeah,
But yeah, so that's really that on as far as the game goes. But um, I just want to make sure that was everything because I'm pretty sure it was.
Hmm.
But yeah,
yeah,
most guys are playing it. I know what's his name, Cody Andy Staples from On Three played it and was like, it's so
yep.
much fun, and
That's what.
he
Yeah,
was talking a lot about it.
I watched that before I got on here, and he was saying like it's really good, and he didn't want to stop playing it. Really, like he really
Yeah,
liked it.
I think it's faster from what I've heard. It just seems like it's gonna be a lot faster,
Yeah,
and
and
the
supposedly I
mechanics are
heard that
different.
every jersey from all 134 teams all got scanned like they're
That's
unique
sick.
to that team.
Yeah.
Like
That is
they
sick.
were all scanned down to like the fiber. Like
Also,
you,
the
s-
drip is going to be crazy because
I was just about to bring that
like
up.
everybody's been talking about can we get the hoodies under the jerseys and can we get just like
when we get the dream.
all the different like the pant link people want shorter
Oh
pants because it just looks better and all the
Yeah.
things and
yeah,
blah 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 like pants below your knees are so like you can literally still have pants below your knees if you want to look like a head ass I guess but you could
yeah,
also just keep it short and whatever but there's a lot of things you can do that I know that people are hype about I know there's gonna be a ton of just drip like the shoes and gloves are gonna be probably
Yeah.
sick. And
yeah. No, I
100%.
heard that like every team has at least like 3 or 4 uniforms, like helmet, all the whole nine.
yeah,
Which I mean, Bama, we really got 2.
yeah,
So
that's
we'll,
about it.
but then you got a team like Oregon that has. He was saying
Oh
that
wow.
teams like that they have like 20 uniforms. So I mean, teams that have like crazy uniforms,
I bet
they're
Oregon
like,
has like so many throwbacks in there.
yeah, that's
It'd be
what
Oh, I'm
this guy
crazy.
was
sure.
saying. I can't remember. I would add him, but I can't. I just saw him on TikTok. I
Yeah,
can't remember who it was, but he
yeah,
was saying like, eat like if you are known for having like fire uniforms, they're more than likely going to be in the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's really
That's
that, I
how.
guess, as far as like what we wanted to talk about on NCAA. We're gonna obviously keep recording these shows, and whatever comes out, we'll keep touching on. But
Be touching up.
that's basically the gist on that. And now, still in the same vein, more college football talk. Cody, I don't know if I don't think I shared this with you, but I'll just tell you what we had. So I don't know if we really did like a actual preseason top 10. We can kind of go off the top of our heads real quick, but
For sure.
I do have, I guess we can start by doing this and this might help us. Um, where did I
I
put
know
it?
you have
Oh,
our
there it is.
bracket,
Here it is.
but that's not our top 10.
So I guess we can just start by doing this and then we can kind of talk about no, let's just start off the top of our head. Let's kind of work through this together. A quick little preseason top 10. And
All right. I
I'll
mean,
pull up what they have actually.
I got it. I got it up right now
Okay.
okay.
on
I'm gonna pull it up.
24/7 Sports here.
Wait. Don't say anything. Let me and Hayden try to like
Okay.
Let's
run
Yeah.
it
try
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
down.
let's try to rank. Let's do it off the top of our head. Starting at 10. Cody,
Okay.
you give
Okay.
your guess.
Let me
At
see here.
10?
Who's
Mhm.
at 10? Because I haven't looked at these recently. I just feel like I know off the top of my head probably what it is.
Could it be? No, I think they got them ranked pretty high there. Could it be Utah?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I mean,
I'm
that's
gonna
not a bad one.
yeah. We're high on Utah this year, Cody. I know that.
I'm
I'm
extremely high
gonna
on Utah.
I'm gonna say it's Penn State. I don't know though.
Okay.
Okay. So
The
what's
number 10 is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Oh my gosh! I was literally. I said. I literally thought in my
You
head.
said
I
they were
was
gonna be
like,
ranked too high.
yeah.
yeah. I literally
So
said they're ranked too high.
Notre Dame Cody has the quarterback from Duke that grew up in Mobile.
I'm
Why?
actually. I think he's gonna. I
And
think they'll be around. If we're talking about Notre Dame,
Can we
then I think. they're
Them
gonna be
hiring
pretty good.
Mike Denbrook from LSU too. It
Yeah,
says it's a power move by Notre Dame there.
yeah. I mean,
For
Notre Dame
sure.
should be a respectable team. You know, they're usually decent. I don't know how far they're gonna
He'll
go,
always
but
be around that top 15 area.
where is my
It says much of the says they're expected to be much better offensively from a well-rounded standpoints. It says they're going to be difficult to contain on that side of the football in 2024. If Clemson transfer Bo Collins and
Mm-hmm.
others are immediate stars,
Oh,
they'll be recruited to be.
I don't know
Much of
why I
Notre
couldn't
Dame's
think.
success will hinge on Duke's transfer quarterback
Riley
Riley
Leonard.
Leonard.
That's
Yep.
who I was about to say. Riley Leonard's going to be a good pickup for them. I think early last year when he was balling at Duke, people were like, "This guy's going to be a nice NFL player," because he's got all the tools. But he's really from Mobile. I think he honestly
No,
played
and
like
he's huge too. Like,
he's
what is he
like
like? Probably like
pause, but yeah, he 6'4", 6'4" or something like 220 maybe. No, he's 6'4", 216. Yep.
I was about to say he's close to 6'5" because he was
Yeah.
a big dude when I watched him play at Duke. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, this guy's crazy.
Says he
Yeah.
just missed the spring after recovering from surgery.
Yeah,
I don't know what
he
the
did.
what
He
the
did
injury
get hurt
was.
last year. He did get hurt last year.
Yeah.
He
I
did.
forgot about that. They started off pretty good though. They were on like primetime games because they were undefeated early on.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay. What?
real quick, maybe we cut this. Maybe Cody, you want to turn on your light on real quick, just to get you some light in there,
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
your screen's a little dark.
we can cut this. Um,
Yeah.
this will be probably something I can obviously cut in the audio post production too. Before
Nice. There
we
we go.
upload it anywhere. Yeah, he was about to be in the Bat Cave.
He was about to be in the bat cave there.
That better?
That is a little better.
It's a
Good
little
shot.
better. It's a little better.
You want me to turn? You want me to come in there and turn on the top light above you?
I got it.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, let him cook. So what we got? Number 9. I'm just gonna kind of guess right here.
It said their previous ranking was 9, was Notre Dame.
Okay. I'm gonna guess number 9 is gonna be Ole Miss.
Okay, let me okay, I like that guess. Let me go from 20 to 10 here, just so y'all get
Just a run through. All
just
right,
to let
yeah.
y'all know.
So
Number
maybe it
20.
cancels out.
Oh yeah, there you go, Cody. That's good.
All right.
Okay, so
Ugh.
20 is NC State Wolfpacks.
Uh,
NC
And
State
then
Wolfpack. Okay.
20.
and
Yep.
then number 19 is Texas A&M.
Yep.
Number 18 is Utah, which
Wait.
is
Wow.
way
That's
down there. Yeah. Way down
Holy.
there.
They sleeping on Utah.
17, Kansas State.
Okay, they're not gonna be bad at
They're
all.
not too bad. 16, Clemson.
Okay.
15, Oklahoma. 14,
Hmm.
Miami. 13, LSU. Kind of down there. 12. See what y'all think about this one. Tennessee at 12.
Tennessee's gonna be good. Me and Cody are a little worried about
They're
them.
gonna be.
And then
Um,
11 is Florida State.
Okay.
And then 10,
oh,
obviously,
10 is
Notre
Notre
Dame that we
Dame.
just talked about.
9,
And
I
then
have
number
Ole
9,
Miss. Who do you think it
you have
is?
Ole Miss.
I'm just guessing that's who the number 9 is. I
Yeah.
don't know if this is
Yeah.
what I would actually
did you say Clemson?
Yes, I did say Clemson.
Number 9's Clemson?
Okay, I didn't hear you.
No,
No, I asked him.
Oh.
I didn't hear him say
If I had
Clemson.
said it.
Oh, okay. Who do you think?
Number 9, number 9. We got Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Is it
Utah.
I don't know. Is it Penn State?
Bing,
Penn
bing, 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 bing,
State.
bing.
Wow.
Hey.
We have a winner there.
And
Penn State.
this is for 24/7
Hey.
sports? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Penn State is a unanimous top 10 team for 2024 and is staying that way despite the spring game performance from the first team offense, leaving much to be desired.
Drew Aller's got to step up this year
Yeah,
for
he
sure.
does.
He's got to. This is his team to lead.
He's literally a NFL Josh Allen 2.0 if he figures it out. But yeah, that's really it. They have some weapons.
Says the proof of of improvements there come in September when the Natty Lions take the field with a new play caller and the promise of explosive plays for the first time in several years.
Yeah.
That's what it takes to be an expected force in the Big Ten alongside other elites.
I mean, Penn State, dude, their schedule is always going to be tough because they have to
Yeah.
play Michigan, Ohio State. Now, I don't know if
100%.
they play Cody. I don't know if they play Oregon or not this year.
I'll check on that.
But literally, they should be a team to reckon with in the top 10 for sure. If you see them on your schedule, I mean, it's going to be tough. But Drew Aller has to have a big season for them to actually do something good instead of being 10-2 like they always are.
Yeah.
Number 8 though.
Dude, number 8 is honestly something that I would not have expected here at
Really?
number 8.
Is this Ole Miss? Okay, let me give
Mm-mm.
another guess because I already guessed Ole Miss.
Yeah. It's a weird team that I don't think that's ever been in the top 10.
Okay. Liberty.
No.
Tulane.
Nope. No.
You
Really?
said it's a weird team.
It's a
Yeah,
weird team?
I mean, it's probably not that weird. It's just I don't really recognize
That's
ever seeing them
really.
in the top 10.
Wait, I think I know who it is, Hayden.
Ooh.
Is it Missouri?
It is Missouri.
Oh, yeah. How
Missouri
could I forget
Tigers.
it was Missouri?
I'm on a roll.
Dude,
He's
Cody's
too
got
low
this.
here.
Cody's got this
He's
on the
got you.
back of his
He
hand.
does.
I just keep
This
forgetting
is
who's like actually in the top right now.
It says
Dude,
they have
that's
2
crazy.
former 5-stars on its roster in whiteout, Luther Burden and freshman Williams.
I'm telling you, if both
Luther is so
of them
good.
can stay, if they can stay healthy, they're gonna be crazy. It's
Luther,
just the one thing that I hate that they lost because they really relied on it is losing Cody Schrader. But I'm
yeah.
sure they got another stud back there. I don't know. I haven't looked at their roster enough to know who their
Yeah,
starting running
I
backs
don't know
looking
either,
like.
but I know
They're
that they're going to be,
I love their coach.
quarterback's got experience. They definitely have one of the best wide receivers, if not the best in the country. And
Exactly.
he's up
Yeah,
there with like
that's
Amika
what they were
Ibuka.
saying as well.
Luther Burden, dude, was so good coming out of high school, 5-star. He's going to be probably one of the first guys taken in the draft, like after the quarterbacks. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Cody, we think that Missouri, I should have knew this was happening. With their ranking, we think they're going to be possibly in the playoffs and undefeated going into the Alabama game, like in the 8th week or 9th week of the season.
Yeah, I think it's like
Their schedule
week
is
9.
such a
That is true.
cupcake to
I
start
remember
out.
y'all were talking about that.
It's literally so easy.
If y'all go look at their schedule, it's
A bunch of
so
nobodies.
it's a cakewalk up until
And then it's like
Alabama.
you play some SEC schools, but it's like Vanderbilt, South Carolina, like
Like
nothing good. And then
Nothing
like
is
crazy.
what y'all
like
they
literally
are.
Auburn, I think. Like I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Like off
Okay.
the rip.
Right.
And then it's like Bama, but they're gonna be undefeated for that game. We think that might be a game day at night for homecoming for
Yeah.
Bama.
I think it will
Probably
be.
That
we'll
I
probably
think
be
both
there.
teams.
We're
that
gonna
we
be
might
there
be
I think
pulling
actually.
both
up
teams.
to. Yep.
Oh
We
yeah.
might have a
Yeah.
live show there.
Yeah, there you go.
Love
Hold
a
on
live,
now.
Only let us
live
cook.
Might
time.
have to.
One of y'all pull up and come introduce yourselves. So yeah, then let's just kind of keep going quickly through the
Yep.
top 10.
Yep.
7.
Number 7 here. I won't read
Okay.
off too much anymore.
I think I got it.
Cody, go.
Is it Michigan?
Yep. Cody
Yeah,
got this thing pulled up.
yeah. I was gonna say Michigan
I
too.
don't.
I feel like
No, I'm playing.
Michigan is definitely about a 7. Yeah, I could see that because they have just enough pedigree, championship pedigree to keep them in the top 10. Obviously, they're not going to fall out, but their schedule is so hard that
Now
they're
what's coming up is going to be difficult.
yeah
Yeah, because they
6.
don't even know what their quarterback situation is
Oh,
right now.
Michigan, yeah.
Yeah, is what they says
Alex
right
Alex
here.
Orgy
I
is
think it's gonna be
like
Orgy. Yeah.
yeah. I
Awesome.
know.
That's crazy.
Alex Orgy over here. That's when Robert Griffin III was like, "There's an orgy in the end zone."
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh
So
man,
yeah,
No,
but
but supposedly this
he's a
kid's
running
pretty good.
style.
I was about
Yeah,
to
he's
say,
definitely a scrambler.
He's a running quarterback.
pounding the football with Donovan Edwards and others might be a winning recipe for a team on the nation's
It's
longest
a
winning
great choice of
streak.
words right there, bro.
Hey, I'm just reading what I'm
He's
seeing.
just the messenger. Don't
Yep,
shoot him.
don't shoot me.
Yeah, not Cody. Donovan Edwards is on the cover of the game along with Travis Hunter from
Wow.
Colorado and Quinn Ewers. But Donovan
I-
Edwards was the guy that everybody was like, "Why is he on the cover?"
Yeah.
No hate, Mr. Edwards, if you see this.
I think he's a
Please.
fabulous. I think
Doubt
he's
you
a
will.
great player. I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna have an amazing season. I think he
He's
could lead
had
the
a
league.
good career. He
He
has.
could lead like college football in rushing. I could see that just because how much they're gonna run the ball. He
Sir,
could do it.
no. You know who's going to lead the league in rushing? Ollie Gordon.
Yeah.
Cody, he
Who's
just
that?
went. Ollie Gordon's a running back for Oklahoma State. He had over 2,000 yards, I'm pretty sure, last year. Like, that guy's so good, man. He should have been, honestly, on the cover, too, if you want to get.
No, I thought it was gonna be him, but
They
him
just
and
wanted
Donovan
Michigan. I
Donovan
get it. They wanted Michigan on there. They just won the championship.
won the Natty.
So 6. We did 6?
Number 6. Yep, it's
We did
y'all
6.
have already said this one. I'll say that.
It's Ole Miss.
Bingo.
Yeah.
It
That's
is.
all.
Says this is the most talented roster ever assembled in Oxford on paper.
By Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're
Jackson
correct.
Dart. Jackson Dart's the quarterback. He's said he's like a potential top 10 pick in the draft if he kind of balls out this year. He's a dual threat.
Yeah,
Um,
he's
he's
Jackson
good.
Dart has another banner season. Ole Miss will be one of the SEC's multiple playoff teams with a chance to winning it all.
Right. Yeah. The only thing is their defense, and me and Cody do not love their DC, who used to be at Bama. Um, Literally, Pete Golding might be one of the worst coordinators that Nick Saban has ever had on his staff. So good luck, Ole
Nice.
Miss. Good luck, Ole Miss. That is very real, and it's going to be hard to actually beat Georgia, who's on their schedule. It's going to be hard to beat Alabama. No, they don't play Bama this year.
no
Actually,
play
they
it.
don't play Ole
Do
Miss
they
for the
play
first time in a
Tennessee?
long time. It's really just Georgia. We have them losing, I think, 2 games, Cody. But
Hmm.
it's like Georgia and maybe Tennessee, or it is, man. Is it Tennessee? No, it's got to be, right?
It's got to be Tennessee. Or
LSU?
if they play a neutral site, it could be LSU. I
Anyways,
don't know.
sorry
We wouldn't
guys.
have them losing.
We're just kind of all over the place. Um, so
Let's get it
anyways,
rolling.
number 5,
Yep, number
It's
5 is
Alabama.
bingo.
Alabama.
Bingo.
Okay.
Alabama
I mean,
Crimson Tide.
I'm not going to say a whole lot. I'm not trying to be biased,
not,
but
exactly.
I
I
do
can't.
think my unbiased opinion is Alabama at 5 seems about right.
Yeah.
I like that.
For
I like that.
preseason.
And y'all are lucky because Hayden would be saying
No,
otherwise
look,
if he
Hmm.
was being biased here.
look. Don't let me
Me,
cook.
me and Hayden would be
Yeah.
going in.
Nah, but I do think Alabama's got stuff to prove. They did lose, obviously,
For
the
sure.
greatest coach of all time.
Mhm.
Um,
100%.
and I think the additions that they've made in the portal have been pretty clutch, to say the least, on the defensive end. And,
For
you
sure.
know,
We
wide
needed help.
receivers are going to be good. Running backs are going to be good. O line's going to be one of the best in the country. Defense is going to have to step up over the course of the season. Now, Alabama does have a pretty solid schedule. It is tricky to me. People think it's easy. I don't know why. Going at Wisconsin, then turn around. I think you do have a bye week
Playing.
after that, which is
I do
kind of
too. Yeah,
nice
we do.
before Georgia. Then you still have to go on the road to LSU, on the road to Tennessee, on the road to Oklahoma,
I
and
mean,
then
that's
you play
not
Auburn at the
easy.
end of the year.
It's
And
not
Missouri.
easy.
Missouri at home
And
is going to be a
Missouri at
tough
home.
game. So it's a tough schedule. I think people are sleeping. I think we played like some cupcakes like South Carolina and obviously the first 2 games, but it should be about 11-1 to me. I don't think it's going to be anything other than
I do
that.
too.
I mean, we might lose. Alabama might lose another game, but it just depends on how
I think our
injuries
floor.
go.
I think the floor is 10-2. Then the ceiling, obviously undefeated, headed to
Right.
the SEC championship.
And then
Okay. Fair.
four
Four.
coming
Yep.
up. I want to say off the top of my head, ooh, I I don't know. I feel
You
like
you want me to tell you the last or the top
No,
four
no.
and then you put them in where you think they should be and then I'll tell you?
nah.
Okay.
I think we can. I think we can get
I
to it.
think I
Cody.
know
Okay,
it.
Cody.
Okay.
Who do you want to say? 1, 2, 3, and then we'll say it. Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Texas,
Oregon.
Cody got it.
Oregon.
Cody's been cooking.
Yeah, I want to know if this is 24/7's rankings or if it's just like the actual rankings because I have no idea.
I think it's
I have
just
no idea either.
24/7.
Okay,
It is just
so
24/7, I believe.
okay, so I don't have no idea what the actual AP poll is going to be.
But usually
This
they're correct. Like
they're
usually they're
yeah,
like
yeah, they should be right.
they're pretty spot on.
So
this
Oregon,
was in April 22nd is the last time they've updated
okay,
this.
so it is a
So there's
lot
a lot
happening.
could have changes. It just said updated post
All right,
spring top
so that
25
see,
poll.
so hey, we never know. It
Could
might be
be, you
different,
never know. Yeah, you
but
never know.
this is a decent rundown. And then 3, I'm
Yep,
guessing is
Texas.
Texas.
Texas. Okay. And
Bingo.
then we think Texas is going
It's
to be in the playoffs probably, but they were there last
the
year. I mean,
the best
whatever.
quarterback duo in the country. Is that right?
Oh, with
That's what he
Quinn
says.
Ewers and Arch Manning.
March
Yeah.
Manning.
Oh
Yeah, I
wow,
mean,
Arch Manning. Do
Yep.
we think Arch Manning's actually gonna be him?
Well, hey, he actually
his-
showed me something in the spring game.
Okay.
yeah,
He
yeah.
actually did.
When I watched that spring game, I was like, this kid might have some juice. Like
This is.
I'd like to see it,
pretty
dude.
impressive.
Mhm.
I would.
But he's not going to go anywhere. He's not transferring. It sounds like. I think he's going to let Quinn play out the year, go to the pro, and then Arch should have 1 year at Texas to basically play full season and then go pro.
Yeah.
So that's the game plan. And then we think two's Ohio. No, I'm sorry. Um,
Two's Ohio State.
No, it's not. They're two. One's going to be Ohio State.
So
Um,
Georgia?
two's Georgia. Yeah.
Yep. Georgia and Ohio State right there.
I think
One
honestly,
and two.
I think I would flip that. I honestly don't think Ohio State is going to be as good as Texas
I'm
or
just worried
Oregon.
about their
Their
quarterback.
quarterback. Yep.
They got Chip Kelly as their
Mm,
um
mm.
offensive coordinator, I think.
I'm not
He's
too
just
thrilled about
see the
that.
thing about Chip Kelly is every time he's successful is he has a mobile quarterback. The guy can
Yeah.
scramble, get out of
Yeah.
situations.
Marcus
This guy
Mariota.
that they got is literally Kyle McCord 2.0. And no hate on the guy. It's just what I've seen in all the highlights. It's just
So they
they're
It's
have
just not
Will. They
it.
have quarterback Will Howard from Kansas State.
exactly.
He's played a lot of football. I think he's played like some of the most out of any quarterback in the country. Now you
Yeah.
have Alabama transfer 5-star freshman, true freshman Julian Sand,
Really insane.
who left
Yep.
Alabama early in the spring and is now there, and he is really talented. But don't know if they really showed enough to kind of give him the keys, and I don't know if he will the whole
No, their
season.
spring
But
game was just not that impressive.
no. No, so I don't know how Ohio State's really going to be, but wrapping it up, one with Georgia, I think is about. I think Georgia should be one. They're two. Let me be
Yeah.
clear, they're two. But one with Georgia seems about right, just because of how loaded that roster is,
They're
always, and they
Yeah.
have the best DBs and possibly wide receivers rooms in the
in
country.
in college football.
Okay,
And then
now
Kirby Smart.
yep, and now let me get y'all's playoff predictions, or what do y'all think is gonna be
Yeah.
1 through 10
So
here?
so playoffs. We're not gonna. I don't want to spend too much time on this because I don't want to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
people
yeah. We'll
seem
just
like
do
we're
playoff
Yeah.
only talking college
predictions.
football. But basically, this is what we have. So 1 through 12, I'll just run it off.
Yeah.
This is where a little bias is gonna show.
No
But yeah,
shit.
it's been I'm
Um,
telling you,
Y'all know it
get
was
ready.
coming at
look,
least.
look.
No, we'll
We're
have
all
to cook
fair.
one.
We're just telling you like it is, though.
We'll
Okay.
have to cook one where we're not as biased.
Like this is what we just think is gonna
No,
happen.
just be for
All
real.
right.
Be what you think is
Okay.
gonna.
So I'll tell you right
Um,
now. There's 12 teams in the playoff this year.
Mm-hmm.
Starting in a couple of years, it's going to be 14. Basically, they're going to move to 14 already. So it's going to be
yeah.
like NFL. And now one. Well, let's just do 12. So, and I don't know, Cody, if it's really going to end up being like this because I can't remember, and it's really bothered me that I don't know the criteria. It could be where okay, the first four are definitely the conference champions. So we think out of like the big conferences. Or yeah. So we have number one Alabama. All right, we have number one Alabama. Let's get out the way. Number two though, this is where it gets crazy. And you said they were 18. We have Utah.
Yep.
What?
Yeah,
Yep.
because we're some believers in Cam Rising, the quarterback who's in his like sixth
Dude,
year, and he
he's a
looks like Gardner
stud.
Minshew. And
Yeah.
literally, their schedule they're in the Big 12 now with like UCF. There's like Baylor, like SMU maybe's in there now. It's like it's dude, the conferences are so different than what they were, and we think
It's
Utah's going to go on a
crazy.
run. And the only team that could really upset them in that conference, I feel like, is possibly Oklahoma State. I don't
I
know.
thought about one team. Let me say this. I forgot about this.
Hmm.
Forgot about this, brothers.
What?
But it's West Virginia.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be sneaky.
The one thing is supposedly their quarterback Garrett Green
Hmm.
is he's the shit.
Yeah,
He's that guy.
yeah, I can see that. They could definitely be a sneaky good team. Now, just keep rolling off of this. One, Bama, two, Utah. Three, we have Oregon winning the pack or the Big Ten. Four, we have Clemson, and I don't know. We've been back and forth on that a lot, but that's just what we kind of kept it
Yeah,
at for
the
now.
Clemson pick is up in the air as we speak.
I've seen a lot of people hopping on that train more recently, but
Yeah,
that's just
That's
because I
fair.
think people
It's a
are
fair trade.
worried about DJ Uyagale for Florida State. But Cam Ward for
yeah,
Miami is going to be a threat, so it could be
for sure.
Miami. But I don't, Miami's one of those teams. I'm not going to
You
put
just
all
never
my
know, right?
chips in a basket until I see it. Like I can't.
If this was the early 2000s, then we'd be betting hard on the
On the Hurricanes, yeah.
Miami Hurricanes.
Five, we got Texas. Six, we got Ohio State. Then we have
Hmm.
seven, Florida State. Now you're probably asking yourself, where the hell is Georgia? Georgia's at 8. Okay.
Yeah.
My goodness.
We have Georgia at 8. We actually have Georgia possibly losing 2 games to Ole Miss and Texas. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, us.
I mean, Alabama, they could lose those other 2.
It was those 3.
Alabama's a given. Come on. No, I'm just kidding. But Georgia possibly losing 2, maybe 3 games. But I know I just said they're the number 1 team in the country. This is preseason, folks. You got to separate preseason from the regular gauntlet of a schedule that Georgia's about to go through.
Got
They're
to.
literally playing the hard schedule they've ever played ever, and nobody ever sees Georgia play a hard schedule. They always play. Oh, they start the year, they play Clemson or Oregon, and they blow them out, and then the rest of the season is a bunch of the SEC East who's not good, and then they might play Alabama or Ole Miss every now and then, and then they cakewalk into the SEC championship, and then Alabama beats them. So that's how, or they don't have to play Bama, they play LSU, then they make the playoffs and they win the Natty. Like that's how it has been. But we think
Sorry,
Oregon,
guys. If
we
you're
think
a Georgia
Georgia's at
fan
8.
here,
You're not getting any love from us. No, I'm just kidding.
you're
Georgia's
not.
good. Georgia's good. They could definitely
Georgia
be
is
number 1.
correct.
They could be really good.
I
I
love
think
Kirby Smart.
realistically breaking it down, we think Carson Beck's good. We think they're really talented on offense and defense overall. I just think
They're talented everywhere.
the schedule's crazy though.
Yeah.
You tell me. Look, if you're listening, you go look at the schedule after this. You tell me how they're going undefeated and staying number 1 all year.
Yeah.
They're not.
Please.
They're
I
not.
mean,
They got to
there's
play at Alabama, at Ole Miss, I think, Texas, like all these crazy teams they don't ever play. They're gonna
Insane.
play.
And it also goes back to the NIL thing too, where all these SEC teams are grabbing like all the gas players. I mean, obviously Georgia's one of the best SEC teams,
Yeah.
but
Ole
I'm
Miss is getting
just saying
some.
like
Texas is
some
getting
people are
some.
gonna give them a little bit more money to come over to them
Yeah.
instead of going to Georgia.
Right. And basically,
On the Zoom.
hold on. 9. We're at 9. Yeah, 9. Ole Miss. Okay.
9 Ole Miss.
We think they're going
I
to be
like that.
good. Not as good as Georgia though, but we do think they could beat Georgia this year. But they're going to probably still wind up losing like 2 games. And then 10 we have Missouri. 11 we have Penn State, and then the last one is kind of like the one that Seth you might not be aware of at all, but they are a good school. Is Liberty, the Liberty Flames. Now they went 13-1 last year, and their quarterback is a dual threat, and he's a beast. Okay,
And he's coming
they're
back.
gonna get in strictly because they play literally nobody. So
Yeah.
I mean,
they're gonna
that's fair.
cakewalk. They're gonna cakewalk the league that they're in. They're gonna be App State and all these other decent teams in their conference, and they're gonna be probably undefeated. And so
Are they gonna be a round 1 bounce though? Are they gonna
this
get
is
probably
we're about to
knocked
get in.
out?
This is what we're getting into. First round. We have. I'm going to go through these because I don't want to talk about this forever.
Yeah, real quick.
Texas, number 5 versus Liberty. We have Texas. That's these first round games are the way it's structured is you go to the higher seeds home stadium. This is going to be how the playoffs first round works, which is kind of crazy. So in like December, you're going to go to like Texas if you're Liberty, and you're going to get dog walked. Sorry. And then Ohio State and Penn State is our 6 versus 11. 6 being Ohio State, 11 being Penn State. We actually. Yeah, we do have Ohio State winning that game because we talked it through. We originally had Penn State winning, but we were like, no, because we think actually Penn State will win the regular season game, but we'll lose the playoff game because that's usually it's hard to beat a team twice. So we have a Texas and Ohio State winning. We have Florida State versus Missouri. When we actually have Missouri winning that game. So we have a 10 versus 7 Missouri upset. Because we really think, like I said, I'm not super high on Florida State.
And I like Missouri more than I do Florida State
is
this
a
year.
good defensive team. They're going to be sneaky good, so I just wouldn't put it past them. And then the first round last game is Georgia 8 versus 9 Ole Miss. Obviously, it'll be a rematch. We got Georgia winning this time because we had them in the regular season losing to Ole Miss. So that's up the second round, which is where you get the first 4 teams that are going to play these teams I just won. Alabama versus Missouri, another rematch. It's in Bryant-Denny again. What is Missouri going to be able to do? Like, they're just going to come off of a crazy physical game versus Florida State. I just think Bama is going to have a little too much juice to lose that one. And Bryant-Denny, first ever playoff game.
It's going to be rocking.
Yeah, it's going to be lit.
You're just not going to be able to take down Bama, I think. But clip it, and y'all could prove me wrong. What else? And then Utah 2 versus Georgia, number 8. Kind of crazy here. Just a crazy, cool matchup. You don't get to see them play a lot. It's going to be a fun game if that happens. And we did have Georgia winning this, though. This is where the
Mhm.
Georgia stuff. This is where the
yeah,
Georgia thing comes full circle. It's like,
yeah.
okay,
Georgia's still
we had them
cooking.
1, we had them go to 8, and then here we go. You're gonna see what
Back
happens.
up.
Now you have Oregon 3 versus 6, Ohio State. This is another rematch. Like these teams might play 3 times when it's all said and done this year because of the conference championship. They're both in the
Yeah,
same conference now,
Mhm.
and we have Oregon winning this game. Now that I might go back on this and change it to Ohio State just because in my head, if Oregon plays them in the regular season and if they somehow play them in the championship of the conference and then they play them in the playoffs, I don't think Oregon's winning all 3 games. I don't.
No,
But
there's no way.
for now, we're just gonna say Oregon beats Ohio State. I don't know. I might change that, but that's what I think, and that's
that's
what we'll
fair.
talk about.
But that magnitude of the game, I would. Yeah, I mean,
There's
that's a
there's gonna
toss up
be there's gonna be some unreal games this year.
for sure.
4 Clemson, 5 Texas. We have Texas winning. We don't think Clemson is really that great, and they're just gonna be like number 4 because of the ACC being weak. Um, then we have the Final Four, which is Alabama versus Georgia, and then we have Oregon versus Texas.
Hmm.
Now,
Mm,
crazy, crazy, crazy here. All these teams were really good last year. Alabama was in the playoffs. Oregon was in the playoffs. Texas was in the playoffs. Georgia very well could have been in the playoffs. Um, you know, I mean, it's crazy to say Bama's going to beat Georgia twice in the season, but at the same time, in the last 5 games, Alabama's 4-1 versus Georgia. So we have Bama winning. It would be in like a neutral site. I don't know exactly, probably like the Rose Bowl or Sugar Bowl or whatever it is. I
Yeah.
haven't looked at it completely. And then Oregon versus Texas. Man, we are high on Oregon. We have Oregon winning that game. We we
Hmm.
that's kind of
believe
crazy.
we believe in their coach Dan Lanning, and we believe in their
I
quarterback
believe in Dan
Dylan
Lanning.
Gabriel. We believe in all those dogs up in Eugene, Oregon, and we have the Natty as
Bama and Oregon.
Alabama versus Oregon.
no, we don't, Cody. We're bugging here. I'm
Is it
sorry.
Texas?
We actually, I did a weird thing where like, remember how we did that first one and then we went back the next weekend, we talked through it, and I was like, wait, this is gonna change up everything.
Wait, yeah.
It actually is Bama versus Texas. I'm sorry. Yeah, we have Bama
Um,
versus Texas and the Natty.
little full circle.
Sorry, guys. So it was a little chaotic there going through that, but that was a long segment. In
It
the
was
college
it
Yeah,
was
football,
a it was about a 25-30 minute segment right there.
it's a
for
long
sure.
thing, but really, that's just kind of the early predictions, and
Hmm.
then I don't want to, keep going for too long, but
Yeah.
it's still we're having a great time here, first show.
So it's
For
basically
sure.
just the Alabama to the top is what we could have just said at the beginning and
You
been
know,
done with it.
I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be very hard for me to see any other outcome. No, but no, I really do think Alabama's got a lot to prove this year, and they got all the talent in the world still, and a
Yeah,
lot of people are sleeping.
definitely a lot of heat on Bama's back this year because
Yeah,
of
For
Nick
sure.
I think
Saban
that's what's
gone.
going to give them a lot of motivation. And what
Yeah,
happened last year is going to be a bad taste in their mouth. But I do think
yeah,
there's still a real chance that Alabama doesn't even um, crack the top 5 or whatever. Like at the end of the season, they might be one of those teams that's like 8 or 9 or 10, and
yeah.
then
Yeah.
they kind of work their way up through the
You got like
playoffs.
two
But
losses on the record, sitting at 10 and
right.
2, sitting at
I'm
like
not
9.
saying like we're going to be undefeated, so don't think that. But anyways, next thing we're going to talk about, this is really where I thought the majority of the
Popping
show
into yeah,
was going to be, but is NFL. And so really the draft happened. It was crazy. The free agency has
it
been
did,
pretty wild, I'd
it
say.
did.
But we're not going to really go all into that because we don't have all the time right now. But we're going to say the main thing we wanted to really talk about was the reset of the market for certain positions.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, the Lions are changing everything up right now, like as
Yep,
far as how people are gonna get paid, and they paid Jared
they paid
Goff,
Jared Goff.
they paid
Agreed to
Amon
a
Ra.
yep.
Yep, what's the
Jared Goff agreed
details?
to a 4-year, 212 million contract
Okay,
extension, and then
he's
you
the
got
second
Amon
highest
Ra.
paid next to
I
Joe
believe
Burrow,
so. Yep, I believe so.
and Amon Ra is now this first tied with Tyreek, right?
Yep, he's a 4-year extension worth 120 million with 77 guaranteed. Just entered the final year of his rookie contract too, so the man's is still very young
Yep,
and a lot to prove even more.
For
yep.
sure.
And then really what that means is they are obviously like every time these guys get the big bags, it's like you hear the term resetting the market. This happens every time. It happened last year. Joe Burrow got paid, Justin Herbert got
Yep,
paid, Jalen Hurts, they all were
yep.
resetting the market. Jared Goff though was a big deal because it's like The guy's good. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been to two NFC championships. We saw what he did last year. He's a great quarterback. I think he's still pretty young. It's not out of this world in my opinion. I don't think
Hmm.
it's that crazy because just how guys are gonna be getting this bread, man. Like it's just gonna keep happening. You
It's just
can't
gonna keep
stop it
going up, bro.
because
Like,
all
when
Yeah.
the
is it gonna ever go
that
down?
salary cap goes up because the TV revenue goes up,
Sales and
and
shit.
then literally NFL keeps making more money, and then they can pay the salary cap goes up, so then you can pay everybody more. So you're gonna have guys making 60 million a year
That is just
essentially,
so crazy.
eventually. So what I kind of wanted to, oh, and then also Nico Collins, was it yesterday or today?
Nico Collins yesterday
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
3 years,
got that banger contract,
'Congrats.
72.75 million, 52 guaranteed.
which is
Um,
insane.
he's like 26 and he's, got a crazy year last year. I think he had like 1,200 yards, probably 100 catches or something
Yeah.
off the top of my
Yeah.
head. One of the
Yeah,
best
I had
wide
him in
receivers.
fantasy.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
you
Where did
did,
I
man.
beast.
end up?
Last.
Last place.
Um, I did have a Monra last year. We're gonna talk about fantasy real quick. I did have a Monra. I drafted him, or I acquired him in a trade from Griffin, my brother-in-law, and then I sent him. If you remember this, Cody, I sent a Monra, Ken Walker, and I
To
got
me.
Christian McCaffrey and Puka Nakua.
That was the most crazy trade, man.
But I lost to him in the championship because Christian was hurt and all his players
Christian
got
was hurt.
30.
Yep, and he didn't play Mari Cooper, and he still beat the
Didn't even play a flex, ladies and gentlemen,
He
and
didn't. He didn't
still
need it.
Yeah,
came out on top.
yeah. So we're not going to talk about that. But what we are going to talk about is a game that we're going to play. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
All right.
here we go.
So we just wanted to set all that up to get into the game. These guys, Seth and Cody, do not know what the game is.
We do not.
All right.
He's
This
about
is
to
where
No
surprise us
clue.
here.
I wish I had some music to pop in right now, but in the post, if you're listening to this, there should be some music coming in because we're going to edit some in here. So it'll be nice. But for us guys, you're not going to hear anything. Sorry.
All right. No.
All right.
No.
So this is our first game ever on the show, on the Muffed Sports Show, Muffed Sports Podcast here. And hopefully one day we get this segment, sponsored.
Hey,
But
That would
that'd
be
be
lit.
beautiful.
hey, I'm not going to say any names yet. Don't want to
Nope.
Uh-uh.
No free
jinx it.
sponsors. Yep.
But so this segment, it might be a little funny here. It's
Uh-oh.
called
Here
Back
we
It Up.
go.
Hold on. It's called Back It Up or Pack It Up.
Oh.
All right. So the way this game works, I'm going to ask you basically one at a time. I'm going to say this guy's name, and then you're going to say should the team that he plays for back it up, meaning the Brinks truck? Should they back up the figurative Brinks truck and give them the bag, or should
Mhm.
they send them packing up
Pack it up,
and pack it
buddy.
up? Yeah.
All
Pack
right.
it
All
up.
right. All
All
right.
right.
So back it up good. Pack
First
it up
guy.
bad.
Yeah. First guy here. T. Higgins. Okay. I don't know who wants to start with this, but I'll give a quick little rundown. T. Higgins has essentially been franchise tagged. I think he's going to make around 20-something million this year because the way the franchise tag works, it takes like the top X amount of players of the position and gives you a median like salary for the year. So he would make a good bit of money, but he wants a long-term deal. Do the Cincinnati Bengals back it up or do they pack it up for Mr. T. Higgins?
I think they pack it up. I think they're tired of him. Really, I've seen a lot on
Are they
different
tired
news
of him,
outlets.
or are they just literally can't do it? Because I don't know if they can do it.
I was about to say, I just
I
don't
mean,
think they
that
want to
could be
pay
the
him the
case.
bag.
Well, I'm not gonna say that yet. But Joe Burrow got a bag. Somebody else is about to get a bag. Seth, what are your thoughts before I segue into the next thing?
I think that they should pack it up.
Steelers
One,
fan,
Exactly.
where are the
because I'm a
Steelers?
Steelers fan, and I think he should just get on out of there and soil their wide receiver core for me. And then I also think he could just get a bag at a different team that could use him.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, do you think he holds out all season or something, or do you think they just say whatever and we just trade him
I think they're gonna try to trade him.
before the
I don't, I
season
don't, I don't think he
Because I
should
saw,
during
hold
the
out,
season?
dude. Don't pull
I
like
saw
a
something
Lamar
earlier.
or
Hold on, let
something where
me.
you debate
I
on
think
holding it
if
out.
he if he plays, right? The idea is always if you play two things can happen. One, you can get hurt and you're
Yeah, and
screwed, and
that's
you're not
awful.
getting the bag. So
Yeah,
he's gonna
no,
want to
you're
hold out,
never gonna get
or
it.
you might want to look at the other way, and it might be like I play and I go crazy.
And
This
then you
is
deserve a bag.
Right.
this is Bleacher Report. Bengals and T. Higgins not negotiating. Sides haven't discussed new contract in more than a year.
Yeah, it's not
Wow.
happening.
Yeah,
Um,
nah,
I
they
would
packing them
It's
up.
I would assume they're
Pack
like
'em up.
they're gonna trade him, but they probably waited so long because I don't know. Maybe they felt like they could work on something,
I
but I
think
don't know.
just both sides are kind of just
It's kind of at a stalemate.
yeah.
So the next thing is transitioning into the other wide receiver on that team, and he's a year or yeah, he's a year younger. But they're both holding. I'm saying this because they're both out right now in OTAs.
Yeah, I was about to
Jamar
say I didn't.
Chase.
Yeah.
They said that. I remember
Jamar
them
Chase.
saying
This is
that.
pretty easy. I think I'll just ask you, Dub. Are they backing it up? Or are
I
they
mean,
backing
They
it up?
backing that
they
dumpy
backing it
up
up.
and dropping the
Whoa!
money on him.
You almost said. You almost said.
They backing
I'm
that
like,
ass up. They backing that ass up. Hit
Oh
him with the
gosh. They're gonna back
back
it
it
up for
up.
Jamar. We all know that. He's one of
They
the best
are.
wide
They
receivers.
better, bro,
Just
or else
keeping
they're
him in.
actually cooked.
Yeah, well,
What'd
yeah,
you pay Joe Burrow for if you don't back it up with something?
right. And they're gonna make him
Like,
the highest paid
gotta
wide
back that
receiver.
dumpy up and give him all the bread he want.
don't get
Hmm.
me wrong. I'd love for them to pack it up,
But
but I know they gonna back it up.
he's
I
he's
don't
not
want it.
he's not getting packed up. Sorry guys, but he's yeah, like we all said, he's getting the Brinks truck here.
He's
And
got
then
to.
we're gonna segue one more wide receiver here. That's been in a lot of talks, and the Steelers especially. Do the San Francisco 49ers back it up, or do they send Brandon Ayuk packing up?
Dude. I mean,
Because the
I
trade
you
talks
would
were crazy during the
yeah,
during
dude.
the draft.
I would have loved to have him low key.
What are
And then
we
I heard we
thinking?
were supposed to get Debo, but I honestly think they should
They drafted Ricky
back it up.
Pearsall. Okay,
Oh, they did draft Ricky Pearsall
See,
and
that's
CJ
what
Stroud.
I'm.
said that was
CJ
his
Stroud was really
favorite.
wanting them, yeah.
Yeah. Um, Cody, what was your answer? Do you say they
I
should back it
think
up?
I think
they should back it up.
I agree here.
I
Okay, we're
agree.
all
Yeah.
agreeing they should back
Yeah.
it up because I don't know what y'all think, but I think Brandon Ayuk is really good, and if anybody needs the bag, it's him over Debo because of Debo getting hurt. I feel
Yeah,
like.
no, 100%.
Yeah,
And then when they were trying
Dump
to
the
trade
money.
Debo out of there, they should pack up Debo and
they
keep
should.
Brandon
Yeah.
Ayuk and the new guy.
They should
And
trade
then use
Debo.
Ricky Pearsall as that Debo type
Yeah,
of guy because he can do
exactly.
it.
Right, and also today, guys, I forgot to add this in here. They just signed Jawan Jennings
Oh, I
I
did
saw
see
two-year,
that. I
that.
was
I
about
did
two-year
to
see
say
like
that.
something 20-something million or whatever it was, maybe
That is
15. I can't remember,
crazy.
but he gets a little
I think it
bag.
was like 15 mil.
Yeah. So he gets a little something. Is probably 2 years, 15. That sounds about right. Makes like 7 or 8
Yeah, I think it's
a
2 years,
year.
15.
So he gets a little stability in the organization. So that really means Ricky Pearsall and him are there for the foreseeable future. What happens with Ayuk and Debo Samuel, I don't know, but I think that it makes sense for them to pay Brandon Ayuk. Why, they haven't traded him, they might as well just pay him, and then
I
see what
agree.
happens
I
in the
agree.
season. Maybe they could trade Debo in the season.
For
When his
sure.
value's up more,
Yeah.
like maybe he goes crazy, and they're like, "Man, Ricky Pearsall is itching to get out there," and then they just say he's ready, and they just trade Debo.
I don't
But
think that's a bad idea.
then we're getting out of the wide receivers here. We're gonna go right into the quarterbacks. This one is a guy who has previously had some injury issues. He's near and dear to our heart, Cody, and he has been balling the last 2 years. He played a full season last year. The injuries were not a problem. But do the Miami Dolphins back it up, or do they send Tua packing it up?
They backed that dump truck up to his house.
They
And got the money.
they send them a personalized dump truck with a script day on it,
Mike
and they drop
McDaniel's
off.
calling to, hey, Tua,
So come
we got the
outside.
dumpy coming.
We got the
Don't worry.
Beep,
Brinks coming.
beep. Backing
And
up.
I think they definitely need to back it up because they just signed. I mean, he is old, but they did sign Odell, which I
Yeah.
mean could cook with besides Jalen Waddle and
Yeah.
If he
And
can stay
Tyree.
healthy, he's
Mhm.
a good he's a good
The wide receiver
he's a
3
good
is
wide
good.
receiver
Yeah.
to stay out there.
Yep. And they just signed a new 2-year deal for Raheem Mostert worth $9 million.
Oh, they did.
Was set to expire after the 2024 season.
Okay.
And they got fucking
Devon A. Chain.
Devon A.
He's
Chain.
still
Yep.
there.
How did I forget?
And they
Yep.
drafted Jalen Wright from Tennessee, who's also 4.3 speed. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He's a
He's
beast.
just
Tua,
dusting.
I guess the question, yeah, I mean, they did get rid of a lot of players in the offseason, probably because they knew they had to pay Tua. They lost a
Yep.
lot on the defense, like a lot, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Christian
Yeah.
Wilkins got a bag, and he went. Did he go to the Raiders? I don't know why. I
Christian
can't.
Wilkins.
Yeah, he was the highest like paid defensive tackle or
Let me
whatever.
see.
I don't know why I'm blanking on that, but they lost a lot of pieces. I mean, I know they still have Jalen Ramsey, but I think Xavier
Yep.
Howard's a free agent. They lost.
They
I
signed
think
Jordan Poyer.
they did sign Jordan Poyer. That's
They
right.
did.
They have some money in a lot of places. Obviously with Tyreek. The one thing that's going to be interesting is what happens with Waddle and all this because
Yep.
you would think they want to keep Waddle around,
Yeah.
but he's
We
gonna,
got to keep
dude,
Waddle.
he's gonna want a bag though because
Yeah, he is gonna want a
he's
bag.
playing great and like yeah, he gets banged up every now and then, but dude is so young and is the next Tyreek essentially. Like,
Yeah.
why would you get rid of him? So they got to really think about what they're about to do. Like, they're really in a weird situation as far as money goes. So I would say they
They
back it
are.
up, but it's gonna be. I think they are back. I think they're really both sides are talking. And Tua showed up this week to practice, and I think that's a sign of I'm feeling like I'm getting paid. So
Yeah.
he's gonna get the money. Now the next guy here is not up for a contract, but it's already starting the conversation because he will be eligible for the bag next season, and it is Mr. Duval County. Do the Jacksonville Jaguars back it up, or do they send Trevor Lawrence packing up? Probably not this year, but next year.
I mean, I think they gotta back it up, even though they just acquired in a trade Mac Jones. I don't
Yeah,
think that they should just leave him packing.
yeah.
Especially they also got Gabe Davis, even though they just gave up Calvin Ridley to the Titans,
Mm-hmm.
and they got Devin Duvernay. He's
They
okay.
also drafted first round wide receiver from LSU, Brian Thomas,
Brian
who has
Thomas.
been
Yep.
looking
And
great.
supposedly he's been
Yep.
doing great.
I'm sure you've been seeing what I
Yep.
saw about him possibly being the best wide receiver in the
Yep.
class, which is a loaded wide receiver class.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
And they
So
also re-signed Josh Allen to a 5-year, 150 million deal that
yeah,
includes 88 million in guarantees.
wow. So that is a lot of money allocated
That
to this
is.
player. I think that yeah, my answer would be back it up because you're the Jacksonville Jaguars. Why
Yep.
would you not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
I
you're
mean, I
literally
would back
going
it
up
up.
against a Will Levis offense in that division who's got Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd,
Yep.
and DeAndre Hopkins. Could shit the bed, but I
Yeah,
mean,
but
gotta, no. And then
um,
they got
Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson and CJ Stroud
Their
that they're
offense is
playing up
Oh,
against. You
loaded.
better back
and we
that up
forget
and
about
not.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yep,
Dude,
that too.
AD Mitchell, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, and Josh Downs. That Colts team is so good, bro.
It
They're
is
so good.
disgusting. On top of the
It's kind of
Texans team,
crazy. And then the Texans are Diggs, Nico, Tank, Joe
We ain't even got to talk
Mixon.
about the Texans. Everybody
Stephon
knows.
Diggs.
Like, bro. So they have to basically keep up. That division is one of the best divisions in football.
Wow. And Dalton Schultz. Oh wait, no, Dalton Schultz was
Yeah,
on the
he was
Cowboys.
there.
It said re-signed to a
But they,
3-year.
they did re-sign
They
Dalton
did
Schultz.
re-sign him. Yeah, I thought he
Mhm.
was there previously,
He
but
was,
No,
but
he was good
he was
last year.
acquired in a
yeah,
trade, I think.
yeah,
Or
Yeah.
maybe I don't know. It was something. I don't know.
something like that. But they're
And
wide receivers and everything
yeah,
are guys.
yeah. Next guy, we have a couple more here. They're all quarterbacks. This one is probably the biggest one here. Um, man, for so many reasons. But do the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones back it up, or do they send Dak finally packing up?
I think they back
Mm,
it up again.
They back it up.
I mean,
I
what else
think
are we gonna do?
I think they back it up.
Look,
It's the
you got to look.
classic Jerry Jones and
All,
Cowboys move. They're gonna back it up.
all I'm gonna say is they got to pay. They just paid Trayvon Diggs. They got to pay CeeDee Lamb next. Then they have to pay
Yeah,
Micah Parsons.
yeah.
Ooh.
Do you have the money to pay Dak again? And Dak's gonna want to reset the
He's gonna.
market.
Yeah, I was
I
about to say
think
he's gonna
Jerry
want.
Jones is gonna start printing money and giving it to these fellers here in a little bit.
Dude, but I don't know, man. It's seeming like this year is basically the last year for I feel like of Dak in a Dallas uniform. And I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, I heard something crazy,
Hmm.
and I just wanted to throw this out there. There's some talks that there's a chance Dak doesn't get the bag and winds up signing with the rival New York Giants. And
Bruh,
then
ain't no
they have
way.
they have a bad year. This is the theory. They have a bad year. Danny Dimes at Brian Daboll, the coach, at guess who's out there? Bill Belichick, and he used to coach there. So they want to
Wait,
pair
He gets
Bill
Dak.
Belly and Dak on
with
the
Dak?
Giants,
And
possibly.
didn't they just get that guy in the draft? The Giants, the receiver?
The Malik Neighbors, yeah,
Malik
the
Neighbors, yep.
wide receiver from LSU. So they
Yep.
want to possibly
See,
go that route.
they
But
could
that's
cook.
all they got.
They
That's
got
all they
Isaiah
got.
McKenzie, he's right, and then they got Allen Robinson, Miles Boykin,
Wandale
awesome,
Robinson. I
awesome wide
mean,
receiver threes, really.
Jalen Hyatt. Like, there's some guys they got. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know. I think that what I heard
AI.
was like, why would they do that when you just paid Danny Dimes 40 million,
Like,
and
what are you
now why would you
doing?
do
yeah,
that again with? I mean, Dak is way better, but like,
yeah.
let's be real, it's crazy, and I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that's
It
something
is.
I keep hearing. Then we have the next quarterback, two left. This one's a little interesting because he's an old guy, but he's won a Super Bowl, and people are like forgetting about him. But he is pretty much gonna need a bag, or or they're gonna let him walk. Do the Los Angeles Rams back it up, or do they pack Matt Stafford up?
How old is
I
Matt
think
Stanford?
30. Matt Stafford is 36.
Ooh, we not paying him a bag. I don't. I
Guess
think
what
we're
though?
packing it up.
Aaron Rodgers and Brady played in their 40s.
Yeah, I know, but
This is a different era
oh,
here.
I
but they
think they
got.
back it up. I
I
think
think
they
they
back
back it
it
up
up
too,
for at least
Cody.
like I think they at least back it up for 2 to 3 years. Give them
Right.
like
Give
something
him
not
like
major.
30 something, 40 million for 2 to 3 years. See
Hmm.
if they can get another Super Bowl with Puka and Cooper Cup and Kyron Williams.
You know
And
who
And
I
start
like back
rebuilding that
there?
defense after Donald left.
who
They got Stinson Bennett, don't they?
yeah, he's back.
Yeah,
He had a
Yeah,
little
he after
mental
his
health
mental
thing.
health.
Yeah,
I like that.
it's not
I mean,
bad.
I feel like he could cook if
Yeah.
like something happens to Stafford, let's say this year,
Hmm.
and he just comes out of nowhere
He could cook.
after the mental health refresh and just starts cooking.
Yeah.
Which
I'm
could
gonna
be.
he's like, I
I'm
found myself, boys.
he found himself.
Wait,
I mean,
imagine they don't. Oh well, never mind. I mean, they're still paying a bag. I was gonna say, imagine they don't. Then they pack it up on Matthew Stafford and say, back it up on Dacky.
yeah. I mean,
And they give
Wow.
Dak a bag with Cooper Cup and
yeah.
Puka. I mean, it's
There's
not
some
like
options. There's some
there are some
options.
options there. I mean, you're still paying a bag, but for who?
Mm,
Who do you want?
because really, like, they don't have
True.
draft picks. They just gotta spend money.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So they're not really building within. They're gonna have to pay Stafford or pay Dak or somebody. So that's pretty interesting. And then the last one is a guy who he got a deal because they want to just kind of lock him up for the short term, but he's about to be done maybe in a year with his deal, and that would be Jordan Love. Do the Packers back it up for Jordan Love, or do they send them packing up? Which we
Oh, we're
They
think,
back
backing
it
it
up.
up. We're
yeah,
backing it
we're
up for
backing up.
sure.
Yeah, that's
But
pretty
he's got to
obvious.
prove him. He's got to prove himself this season.
Yeah,
Did
I
they
mean
get
he
did they
just
get an extra
balled.
wide receiver for him this
Nope.
year?
I don't know, but we think about it. They have Romeo Dobbs,
Oh
Dontavian
wait,
Wicks, and Jaden Reed,
and they got Josh Jacobs.
and they got Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
And that's just in himself could carry the team low key if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean the
And they
way
got
that
Xavier McKinney.
they
Signed a
did
four-year
get
deal.
Xavier
Signed a
McKinney, two Bama
four-year
guys.
deal. 68 mil,
That's actually a
including
great
25 mil.
signing for them
It
to get
is.
him. He was
Yeah.
really good, and the Giants just couldn't pay him because they paid who? Danny Dimes,
Yep.
and they didn't pay Saquon. So that was the end of that game. That was officially the first game
I
of
like
week
that
one.
game.
And then
That was
really,
a good game.
I mean, we'll just kind of quickly wrap up these last few things. Essentially, fantasy football. We talked about a little bit. We're gonna be starting a dynasty. We do think that's coming up in the next week. And we've never done a dynasty, but we're practicing. We're getting ready for it. We feel good about it. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel pretty decent about it from the mocks that we've done.
Yeah.
But I mean, considering the last mock I had probably an entire Lions team on my team.
Mm.
I
Might
don't
not
know.
be the route to go.
I'm a little scared.
Yeah. I think
No, I'm liking where I'm sitting.
the only thing I
I'm
want to ask is like what are let's say the three guys that you want to have as your pillars of your dynasty?
Okay, so we know our draft picks now, and I'm
I'm 9.
7th.
Okay,
And I
Cody's 9.
got
I'm
7, 8,
11.
9, me, P, Cody. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's somebody, and then Hayden, what are you, 11?
11.
11? Yeah, okay, so since I'm the
And then we
first
have
pick
the
right
third
there,
round reversal. So really what that
which is
means
insane.
is that me and Cody kind of get 3 picks in the top 30 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so 3 guys that I want, it's definitely if I can get either CJ Stroud or Bijan Robinson as my first pick right there at 6,
Yeah.
then I'll be lit. I
Yeah.
want also if maybe a Monra,
Okay.
maybe Marvin Harrison. I see him
Point
up
the point of
there.
this segment was to steal your picks. No, I'm just kidding. I
Uh,
literally can't because
no,
I'm
you
at
can't.
11.
But you can.
Oh, we could trade up.
I
Could
could
trade up.
trade picks, yeah.
Oh,
Let me
good.
get that 3rd round reversal pick for my pick.
You can take a 2027 first round pick.
Okay. Right.
Cody, couple other guys, Cody, that you feel like you want.
I mean, I've been drafting Bijan a lot. All the drafts we've done,
I'm
I
drafting
think
Bijan
I've got
too.
them.
Yep.
I
I've
mean, you
gotten
got
Bijan.
to.
I'm really, a lot of people, y'all started clowning me, but I really like this guy, Jordan Love. I think he's gonna have an excellent season,
Yeah, it's good.
We were
and
just talking about him.
he's a young dude, and he
Just the
looked good
first pick is
last year.
kind of crazy. I can't
Yeah,
lie.
it is.
No,
It
I was
is.
wild. That was like our first mock, and I was
Yeah.
kind of wild, and I was like, I'm going crazy,
Yeah.
picking Jordan Love.
Oh, going crazy. Give me the low.
Who else?
Give me the love.
Who else, Cody?
But I that'd be a good pick for like the 3rd round or something like that to establish my quarterback. But I need to if I'm looking for a wide receiver, like Seth said, and like both of y'all said, I'm pretty sure Amon-Ra's a great pick. He's young on a great team that's only getting better as
Yeah.
it looks like right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
100%.
I really like if we're looking deeper into the draft. I really like Seth's guy and George Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm high on George Pickens.
Yeah, the value's pretty crazy.
The value's insane on him, and he's just a great pick. You can pick up in like the 5th or 6th round, and he's
Yeah.
probably
And
getting
he's going to be the wide
obviously
receiver 1.
Yeah.
wide receiver 1, way better QB play, probably better O line
Oh,
play. So I mean,
100%.
it's only
By a million miles better
Mm-hmm.
O-line play.
Mm-hmm.
so I really like George, and if we're looking at, let's talk about a few tight ends here. I know y'all are high on
Yeah,
Trey
I was about to
McBride. That's
ask
a good
about
one.
that.
Sam
Trey
Laporta
McBride,
is my
Sam
number 1
Laporta.
tight end on the board.
Dalton Kincaid.
And I mean, since we're running this dynasty, I mean, you can't really. I mean, you can look at age, but Travis Kelsey might not be the best pick because I mean, he's probably 3-4 seasons left. You
Yeah, I
know.
think
He
he's like
he
I mean,
signed a
36,
he signed like a
37.
2-year deal or something.
yeah, and he'll probably retire after that if we're
Yeah,
being
Yeah.
honest. You know,
Yeah. So
100%.
that sounds
but
about right. I think.
it's kind of up in the air.
All
Yeah.
right, Aiden.
I think we're all agreeing about Bijan. And
100%.
I love Bijan obviously as a Falcons fan. I think
Mhm.
obviously another guy that's in the same kind of mold of Bijan but different position is Marvin Harrison Jr. I
I
think
love
I
Marvin
I
Harris.
like
I
him.
want to take Marvin Harrison so bad as my first pick or second pick, just because I know that he's there for so long. Like
Yeah, bro.
in the NFL
Yeah.
And
being
plus the
a
Kyler, I
league.
feel like him and Kyler will
Yeah.
match
Who
each
else is
other.
Kyler
Kind
gonna
Who
of
throw
D
the
else?
Hop.
ball to?
Nobody,
Greg
bro.
Dortch.
Yep. Going deep.
I love you, Greg, if you're listening, but I'm sorry, you're
Thank
not a
you,
wide
Greg.
receiver 1, and you never will be. But it's
Nope.
okay,
But it is okay because you're
'Cause-
going to fit his spot
and
perfect.
you'll be great at it.
Mhm.
You'll be
Yep.
great as a
You're
wide
doing
receiver
great,
too.
Greg.
Oh, Zay
Keep it up,
Jones.
Greg.
Zay Jones signed with the Cardinals. Mr. Zay Jones, you're not getting the ball. You're gonna
Uh-uh.
get 5 targets a game, maybe, and that's about it. Um. So yeah, Marvin
Mm-hmm.
Harrison, Bijan, Brock Bowers is another one.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot about
Um.
him.
Yeah,
I
Brock Bowers.
quarterback wise, this is where I'm like, dude, I love me some Anthony Richardson,
Anthony Richardson. Ooh, could be a
Nah,
hurt ass.
but
nah.
could be so
Could be
good
so good
though.
though,
In that
bro.
I'm
First couple
offense,
stupid.
weeks of last year, he
I
was
know.
killing it, bro.
Yeah,
If
he
if
was
he's on the board and I'm right there, I'm snatching
Yeah, you got
Anthony
to take him.
up. Give me
You got to take
literally,
Richardson.
him.
literally.
You got to take him.
No,
I'm
that's really like the gist of that topic point. I mean, the talking point that was basically I just want to kind of hit on like what we thought about
Yeah.
the main guys. And then really the last thing to wrap up the show, NBA Finals are coming up. Celtics versus Mavs is pretty much a lock. Other than do the Wolves do the impossible? They're back home tomorrow night. Do they win Game 5 and make it interesting?
I think they win game 5.
Okay,
Bro, if you look at the past couple games, all their games have been within like
a few
2 or
points.
3 points, yeah.
Yeah.
So if they can just end up dubbing in
Hmm.
those last couple minutes of the game, then they can definitely come back and win
If
game
they
7.
get what they got last game out of Karl Anthony Towns,
Oh,
then
they're
they can
dubbing.
win. They
Yeah,
can win, and they
100%.
might just make it
That's
go to.
why,
They might make it go to 7.
mark my words, on this day, I put in a bet
But
for
they,
I still,
plus
I
1500 for the Minnesota Timberwolves be the NBA Finals. And yes, Cody, that means they go in there and beat the Celtics.
calm down, you Warriors fan. All right, listen.
Uh-uh.
my team's out. It's all
The
right.
Yep.
Timberwolves aren't making it out. The Mavs are in. It's the Celtics versus Mavs. Celtics in 6.
Okay.
I got
I like
Mavs
that.
in 6.
I was
Um,
going to say I got Mavs in 4.
oh my god,
Oh,
the disrespect is crazy. Mavs in
what you
4 is
mean?
crazy.
What you mean, cuh?
What you mean? Yeah, that's wild. I do think what's
Gotta
gonna
do.
happen is I just a quick little rundown on that series. I think it's gonna be great because you're gonna have the two stars on the Mavs with Luka and Kyrie going
Yep.
crazy, and then you're gonna have basically a team that does. I'm not gonna lie, Cody. I know they got Tatum. I know they got Jalen Brown, but it's not like where you just have a dog like Luka and Kyrie, where it's like you just can go get a bucket when it matters the most. Because we've seen Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown be hesitant at times, and
Nah,
Hmm.
for sure.
they're
I
they're
agree.
built more of like a team where they're like loaded at every spot
Yeah.
on the
Because
roster.
especially with the Kristaps
If he comes
fucking
back, then
ass.
it's like, ooh, like maybe they do win the series. But and I'm sure he will play. But the Mavericks are gonna hopefully stay healthy. Derek Lively should be coming back from his neck injury soon.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be fine, especially if they win this next game. They'll have a lot of time to rest. But I think that series will basically come down to in the clutch, can Jason Tatum take over like he really hasn't? Like he needs to actually
Yeah.
decide I want the ball and I'm about to go to crazy because sometimes we'll just sit in the corner.
So does that mean if Jason Tatum wins this ring, does he finally put his legacy in as a Celtic?
Like he solidifies his legacy completely.
Solidify a
For
legacy
sure.
there. I
For
think
sure.
so. I
He's
think
one
For
of
so.
the,
sure.
It's
he's
about
one of the
time.
best Celtics if he wins a ring. He's up there obviously with a lot of those
Yeah.
guys like Larry,
Yep.
Paul. I hate Paul Pierce, sorry, but Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. All the
I
old
love KG. KG's
Bill
one of my favorite
Walton,
players
I love
ever.
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen, all the Rajon Rondo, whoever you want to talk about. Yeah,
I'd
he
say
would
so
be
though.
he would be up there. Because he's been putting up crazy numbers, but at the same time, we got to talk about Celtics been running through a bunch of teams with injuries, and
Dude, yeah, they
it's
have.
just what it is.
And I
They
feel like it
they
could be on
them
fraud
being them
watch.
not
It's
being battle
just the
tested is
card
gonna
we were
suck.
dealt.
Right.
It's
But the
just
fact is, you weren't battle tested, and the Mavericks had to go through a
a
good bit of a
gauntlet.
Yeah,
gauntlet
they did have
because
to go through the
they beat the
gauntlet.
Clippers, whatever. They were kind of banged up, but they're still the Clippers. Then you had to beat the Young Thunder, who were the 1 seed. You handled them kind of at the end. And then you
Yeah.
turn around and
Hmm.
then you beat the Timberwolves, who just kind of went through the Nuggets. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest. So
I
the
mean, you're up
Mavericks
3-1, but are you getting a little tired?
Dude, the
I think
Mavericks
you're
are
getting a little
crazy right
tired.
now. Luka looks like he's on another level.
I'm
Kyrie's
saying.
playing out of his mind. It's gonna be
That
hard
is
to.
true,
It's
yeah.
gonna be hard for them to lose to the Celtics. But
I agree.
yeah, guys, that was a long show. First show, we were kind of
First
filling some
show.
stuff out, but
Yep.
Bears trying to play,
Run
so I'll
everything.
start wrapping it up here, guys. Hopefully, the only thing I can say to kind of wrap it up is that this show should be out. Let's be honest. I mean, it was a good little run. I think we'll have it edited and uploaded
Edited.
sooner than
Yep.
later. You'll probably find us on socials at Muff Sports. I don't think it's going to change for now. And then this video of the stream could be on YouTube. Definitely will be on, streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and other things. So that's where you'll be able to listen to us. Hopefully, we can pump out content consistently. That's the goal. And that's
100%. Maybe
yeah,
some vlogs coming up. Who knows? You might catch
yeah.
us
Maybe
golfing.
maybe catch us writing some stuff here and there.
We might go live on TikTok or something, sweating our bets out.
True. That's a good idea here.
For sure.
But look for us on socials, Muff Sports, and that's MUFFED. And basically, that's that. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you guys
Yep.
soon. We don't have a specific time we're going to upload yet, but once we kind of figure out our schedule, we'll say that. But
Get it rocking and
We'll
rolling
handle
for
it. Yep.
y'all.
and we don't care if
100%.
there's one person listening right now or 100 or whatever
We
it is.
appreciate you, man.
We appreciate
Listen,
it.
everybody, we're just having fun.
We're just
Yep,
out here
that's all we're
yapping.
here for.
That's
Yep,
really it.
just some 3 yappers.
But guys,
Yeah.
I will pop into Discord and we can talk about some stuff. And I appreciate y'all. But that's it. That's a wrap, as
Yep,
we would say.
first
That's a
show
wrap.
out the
First
out the
show.
door. Close it up.
Closing it. All right.
Close it up.
Now I'm ending it. So appreciate it. And we'll see you
Yep.
guys on
See
the
y'all.
flip.